Religious intolerance. Um, Religious intolerance is intolerance against another's religious beliefs or practices or lack thereof. Definition: the mere statement on the part of a religion that its own beliefs and practices are correct and any contrary beliefs incorrect does not in itself constitute intolerance. Um, there are many cases throughout history of established religions tolerating other practices. Religious intolerance, rather, is when a group specifically refuses to tolerate practices, persons, or beliefs on religious grounds. Historical perspectives. According to the 19th century British historian Arnold Toynbee, for a religious establishment to persecute another religion for being wrong ironically puts the persecuting religion in the wrong, undermining its own legitimacy. Contemporary attitude and practice. The constitutions of some countries contain provisions expressly forbidding the state from engaging in certain acts of religious intolerance or preference within its own borders. Examples include the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, the exception being manifest destiny, which was manufactured by the prevailing powers as well as the Church to suspend this right for all North American indigenous people, most notably during the 800s and well into the 1900s uh, during, sorry, most notably during the 1800s and well into the 1900s. This is evidenced by the brutality of the infamous boarding schools designed to kill the Indian, save the man, by erasing all manner of religious practice, language, culture, traditions, and beliefs. Article 4 of the Basic Law of Germany, Article 44.2.1 of the Constitution of the Republic of Ireland, Article 40 of the Estonian Constitution, Article 24 of the Constitution of Turkey, and Article 36 of the Constitution of the People's Republic of China, Article 3, Section 5 of the 1987 Constitution of the Philippines. Other states, whilst not containing constitutional provisions directly related to religion, nonetheless contain provisions forbidding discrimination on religious grounds. See, for example, Article 1 of the French Constitution, Article 15 of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and Article 40 of the Constitution of Egypt. These constitutional provisions do not necessarily guarantee that all elements of the state remain free from religious intolerance at all times, and practice can vary widely from country to country. Other countries, meanwhile, may allow for religious preference, for instance, though the establishment of one or more state religions, but not for religious intolerance. Finland, for example, has the Evangelical Lutheran Church of Finland and Finnish Orthodox Church as its official state religions, yet upholds the right of free expression of religion in Article 11 of its constitution. Some countries retain laws forbidding defamation of religious belief. Some retain laws forbidding all forms of blasphemy. Example, Germany, where in 2006 Manfred van H was convicted of blasphemy against Islam. This is seen by some as official endorsement of religious intolerance amounting to the criminalization of religious views. The connection between intolerance and blasphemy laws is closest when the laws apply to only one religion. In Pakistan, blasphemy directed against either the tenets of the Quran or the Prophet Muhammad is punishable by either life imprisonment or death. Apostasy, the rejection of one's old religion, is also criminalized in a number of countries, notably Afghanistan, with Rahman being the first to face the death penalty for converting to Christianity. The United Nations upholds the right to free expression of religious belief in Articles 18 and 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, while Article 2 forbids discrimination on the basis of religion. Article 18 also allows for the freedom to change religion. The declaration is not legally binding. However, the United States chose in 1998 to pass the International Religious Freedom Act, creating the Commission on International Religious Freedom and mandating that the United States government take action against any country found to violate the religious freedoms outlined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The European Convention on Human Rights, which is legally binding on all European Union states, following the passage of the Human Rights Act 1998 in the United Kingdom, makes restricting the rights of an individual to practice or change their religion illegal in Article 9 and discrimination on the basis of religion illegal in Article 14. In its 2000 annual report on international religious freedom, the United States Department cited China, Myanmar, Iran, Iraq, and Sudan for persecuting people for their religions, faith, and practices. The report, which covers July 1999 through June 2000, details United States policy toward countries where religious freedom is violated in the view of the United States Department. The advocacy group Freedom House produced a report entitled Religious Freedom in the World in 2000, which ranked countries according to their religious freedom. The countries receiving a score of 7, indicating those where religious freedom was least respected, were Turkmenistan, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Sudan, Myanmar, and North Korea. China was given a score of 6 overall. However, Tibet was listed separately in the 7th category. Those countries receiving a score of 1, indicating the highest level of religious freedom, were Estonia, Finland, Ireland, Netherlands, Norway, and the United States. Within those countries that openly advocate religious tolerance, there remain debates as to the limits of tolerance. Some individuals and religious groups, for example, retain beliefs or practices which involve acts contrary to established law, such as the use of cannabis by members of the Rastafari movement, the religious use of eagle feathers by non-Native Americans contrary to the eagle feather law, 15 CFR 22, or the practice of polygamy amongst Mormons in the 19th century. The precise definition of religion and to which groups it applies can also cause controversy. For example, the case of Scientologists who have all rights of religious freedom but complain that the highest court decided not to grant the status of a non-profit organization in several states. Attempts to legislate against acts of religious intolerance amongst citizens frequently come up against issues regarding the freedom of speech. Whilst in France, being convicted of incitement or to religious hatred can carry a maximum of 18 months in prison. An attempt to pass a similar law by Tony Blair's Labour government in the United Kingdom had to be dropped in April 2006 after criticism that it restricted free speech. In Victoria, Australia, the Racial and Religious Tolerance Act 2001 makes illegal conduct that incites hatred against, serious contempt for, or revulsion, or severe ridicule of that other person or class of persons on the grounds of religious belief. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. Until the next hangout, and good evening. Religious intolerance. Um, religious intolerance throughout history of established religions tolerating other practices. Religious intolerance, rather, is when a group specifically refuses to tolerate practices, persons, or beliefs on religious grounds. Historical perspectives. According to the 19th century British historian Arnold Toynbee, for religious own beliefs and practices are correct and any contrary beliefs incorrect does not in itself constitute intolerance. Um, there are many cases intolerance is intolerance against another's religious beliefs or practices or lack thereof. Definition: the mere statement on the part of a religion that it